And here we have the clinching argument of Aristotle. And in his view, he says there is no question when it comes to poetry, there is no question of a literal copy of the world of reality. So he's saying it is not as if a poet is literally copying the world around him or her. Rather, what art seeks to reproduce is mainly an inward process, a physical energy working outwards. So he takes it to a different spiritual level. So he says it's a physical energy working outwards, deeds, incidents, events, situations being included under it, so far as these incidents spring from an inward act of will or elicit some activity of thought or feeling. So he turns poetry into a vital force, into a with a force and energy, a drive of its own. And it says he's trying to say that it all emerges from within. And though it does show events, it does show incidents, it shows them in a broader context, it shows them in a broader universal humanitarian context, so that it becomes relatable. It is not a mere copy of someone's life. It could be inspired by someone, but it is a better version of reality. So it is not reality as it is, but reality as it ought to be. It's a finer version of reality. In fact, that it presents man as much better or much worse than he should be, never man as what he is. And there is a kind of selection and ordering in the theory, in the process of imitation. It's not just a mindless, blatant, robotic, mechanical kind of copy of the original, right? So there is a selection that this needs to be copied because it will have the best, maybe it will have the maximum impact, or it will have the maximum appeal. And then there is a certain ordering of events so that it has an appeal. And he also is of the view that since man is the highest of creatures, and he has within him the indomitable urge to rise upward, it is this ceaseless upward striving which a poet imitates. So it is man's struggle, man's confrontation with reality, man's predicament in different situations, which poetry captures. And since poetry captures this essential humanness of man, it cannot be just a mere imitation, and it cannot fail to appeal to people across the world and across cultures, because this is something which all human beings shares. And by including, by referring to human actions, both internal and external, internal as in psychological and emotional, and external as in physical, he brings everything within the scope of poetic imitation. And that is how he defends the theory of imitation, and he adds a lot of value and dimension and depth to the theory of imitation, and makes a very solid argument uh, against, or maybe trying to pitch it against what Plato had to say about the theory of imitation.